With the fourth pick in last year's draft, the Colts surprised many by selecting Anthony Richardson in pursuit of the elusive franchise QB. A genetic freak, the 6'4", 245 signal caller burst onto the scene with highlight plays. But the star that burns twice as bright lasts half as long, and his season ended after just 4 games due to injury. The tape is a mix of brilliance and blunders, so let's see what we can extrapolate for 2024. Bringing bombs and bullets to opponent secondaries, the first trait we've got to talk about is the cannon right arm. It doesn't just jump out to you on tape, it demands your attention. Now, there's 2 cuts of this video, one comparing his pro tape with college tape, and this NFL cut. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show his college tape on YouTube, so if you want the extended version, head over to patreon.com/thinkingfootball. He makes 30-yard throws look effortless, requiring just a flick of the wrist to dart to any location. The Rams are in a cover 2 here, and even with the nickel attaching and chasing Josh Downs, there's a chance to attack the middle with the safety sitting wide. It's perfect placement at lightning speed, requiring no step in to dot his man. And he'll do it while under extreme pressure. The pocket's collapsed with 6 coming in on the rush, and AR has to step up to avoid B-gap pressure, only to be placed right into the path of one of the best to ever do it. Seeing that Alec Pierce has a slight step on the corner, he eats the hit from Donald, firing up the sideline to allow his man to make a play. Long third downs are no problem, with AR regularly showing aggression paired with the gun arm. Josh Downs is running a deep corner route and will find the gap between the Titans' deep dropping zone. And Richardson shows nice anticipation, ripping this 50 yards deep at the break with just another flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of that wrist. The big arm also allowed him to attack even the narrowest of windows, showing aggression to strike late closing gaps. Off the play action, the Jags linebackers hesitate just long enough to open the window to Pittman. AR sizzles one in, and his boy secures the first. When Richardson's first read was open, he showed a nice ability to deliver in rhythm, throwing with anticipation to set up the play. It's a simple read here, but noticing the off-man coverage and knowing the strength of his receiver, AR is releasing as soon as he hits that third step, allowing his man to bring up a very short third. A good read of the coverage has another ball out fast. With the Titans in man, Ogletree has a clean release versus outside leverage, and Richardson sees this, winding up just as his tight end is entering the cut. While Richardson's reads remained rocky in his first 4 starts, there was the occasional flash that he could scan, although issues here will be discussed later. Against the Jags, this is a great display of recognizing the defense, staying calm, and using their aggressiveness against them. Creeping up to spook the line, the Jags only send 4, but the disguised pressure allows for a free rusher up the B-gap. AR stands in and takes the hit to zip this to Josh Downs. Man against mesh means someone's going to get open, and with both taking downs on the underneath drag, Jake Funk becomes free, and Anthony acts quickly to find him for the catch and run. And with the Jags bringing another simulated pressure, he knows he's going to have no time to read, correctly firing this to his hot route to attack the given space. While the processing might lack the requisite speed, his movement is elite, both in the pocket and extending. His pocket movement already looks fantastic, gliding and sidestepping like a vet to look for his next threat. Pressure comes off the right side this time in the form of a Travon Walker bull rush, but there's no phasing AR, keeping his head up and going through his reads, seeing nothing open deep, and taking the easy check down yards. Down here on the goal line, even more impressive moves secure a score. Pressure is immediately coming through the A-gap, so Richardson ducks and shimmies up, only to find more pressure, deciding to escape left and abandon the pocket altogether. His eyes stay up through pressure despite a stumble, spotting Zach Moss all alone for the 2-point conversion. And he could roll out to extend too. B-gap pressure comes in the form of a beautiful spin move this time, but he's quickly escaping right with a shimmy, keeping the eyes downfield on the roll. Threatening to turn the corner for the first, the Jags give up their nice coverage, and Pittman shows great knowledge to find a gap, allowing more arm strength from AR, whipping this cross-body for the first. Richardson didn't just get it done with his arm though, he could take off on you too. At 6'4" and with the 4.43 40, having Anthony in the backfield opens up a whole nother dimension in the playbook. Here on the split zone read, the Colts bring downs in motion to create more chaos and get AR to the edge with a numbers advantage. The end crashes down, so Anthony keeps, and the 2-on-2 blocking creates green grass for the wheels to start turning, showing impressive speed and a stiff arm to the safety. In the red area, it became truly deadly because you simply run out of numbers to defend. The swing route creates 5-on-5 in the box, and that sets up an easy QB draw. Richardson is far too fast for the backer as safety, long striding them to go untouched for 6. His size allows him to go through defenders too. However, issues start arising when you try lowering the shoulder at the pro level. Nothing's open on the bench concept, so he calls his own number, evading a tackler, then putting his shoulder down and laying the boom, going through 2 defenders to get the first. And straight out the flex bone playbook, the Colts go QB counter, using motion to pull the defense left and bringing your wingback across as the lead blocker. It's executed to perfection with a beautiful fake from AR and then 2 great blocks. He looks to have a clean alley, but there's a hustling MJ Stewart, and Richardson does little to try to avoid him, taking a big lick on his way for 6. It's easy to get lost in the big arm highlights and impressive rushing from Richardson, but he has some serious issues that are still looming from college, and in the tape he's put up so far, he hasn't shown great signs of improvement. First, his accuracy is all over the place, constantly missing open guys by beaming it over their heads or way outside their reach, showing a lack of touch leading to some ugly misses. Out of college, the accuracy was incredibly spotted and was due to a couple of reasons: having poor footwork, rushing through his mechanics, and not having enough touch on his throws. It's a nice read of the smash concept, and he attempts to throw with anticipation to the corner. But there's no lead on the throw, and it's far too fast, sailing it over the head of Andrew Ogletree and making him take a hit in the process. And here again, he reads the deep spot route will come open, but it's bulleted high and inside, and he's lucky Byard isn't over faster. He throws bullets, not balloons, and this just makes it very difficult on his receivers. His next big problem is moving between reads. His eyes are just too damn slow in the pocket, hesitating before releasing, leading to ugly late balls. The Colts clear out space with 3 deep routes and bring Juwann Winfree on the drag underneath. And with the Jags backing up in Tampa 2, there's 2 checkdowns for good gain. However, AR turns down a free profit, waiting forever before Walker works his way all the way around the pocket for a sack. On the rollout here against the Rams, Richardson is going to have a deep shot available to Pittman in behind the defense, but despite seeing it, hesitates for multiple seconds before throwing, and by this time, it's already closed shut. And he's got another chunk pickup available on the boundary here, but again, has to wait to confirm his eyes, throwing way too late for the NFL, and Russ Yeast knocks him out of bounds. While his pocket movement has been generally praised in this video, he has shown a bit of a habit of drifting back and left when needing time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a death sentence in the NFL, exposing your blind side. And that brings us to perhaps the biggest concern we have with Anthony Richardson, protecting himself. He takes way too many unnecessary hits, especially in the run game, and needs to learn to get out of bounds or slide when nothing is available. It's admirable that he fights for every yard, but as a QB, that just isn't possible. You need to be smart and play for the next down, and for the next game. We've seen the consequences of this already multiple times, with AR suffering a nasty concussion after a lick where he didn't get low enough, and here against the Titans where he refused to cut his losses, going headfirst and injuring his shoulder, ending his season. The flashes should be enough to excite any Colts fan, and the 99th percentile arm and incredible athleticism are going to take us on a joyride in his time in the NFL. However, his unsustainable playstyle has already limited that action and cut into his development time, where his game needs big improvements in the processing and accuracy department. The first priority has got to be staying upright in 2024, allowing his game to become more than a power arm quarterback built in Madden. After that, we could see fireworks, but significant processing advances must happen for this to become a reality long term.